Well, I get the feeling I'm going to hear about this one later. Every once in a while, I'll put up a daily dose and I'll have to hear about it later. I think this is one of those ones I'm going to have to hear about later because some of them really, really hit home. And I hope that this one does. Because, you know, I talk to people every single day that talk to me about stress, how overwhelmed they are, how stressed out they are, how worried they are. And so I did a little bit of research, and I did a little bit of reading, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of why people feel stress and why people feel worry. I feel stress. I feel worry all the time. All the time. And as I'm running on the treadmill tonight, and I'm kind of processing everything I've read and some of the things that I've thought about, it suddenly dawns on me like that. Something that I heard probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't remember if it was Jim Rohn that said it or if it was Zig Ziglar that said it, but it was one of those two great gentlemen that said, worry is the interest you pay on bad behavior. And I went, got it. Right? Here's what you need to know. If you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed all the time, one of the major contributors to stress is worry. And worry is created by either doing things that you know you shouldn't do or by not doing the things that you know you should. Those two things is what creates worry. I mean, think about it. 90+% probably of the things that you worry about are things that you're either not doing that you know you should be doing about your finances, about your relationships, about your job, about your business, about your spirituality, about whatever. Or things that you know you shouldn't do, but that you're doing anyway. As an example is maybe you're worried about your health, but you smoke. You know, or maybe you're worried about your health, but you're heavy and you smoke. Well, that worry was created because you weren't doing things you should have been doing when it came to your health and to your wellness, and you were doing some things you shouldn't have been doing when it came to your health and your wellness, and that's what created the worry. So here's what we can do. If we want to lower our stress, if we want to lower our worry, if we want to give ourselves some peace of mind, and by the way, you're ultimately more effective in everything you do if you're walking around this planet of ours with peace of mind. Look, when you're worried, you're preoccupied. It means your brain is somewhere else. You ever been checked out? Right? In the middle of a conversation or in the middle of a meeting at work. I mean, your brain is just, you're in Tahiti, man. That's what happens when you're worrying. Your brain is somewhere else. And so you're not applying yourself to the task at hand. And when you're not applying yourself to the task at hand, your effectiveness goes, right? So if you want to be ultimately the most effective you can be at work and in your business and with your relationships and in your spirituality and in your physical wellness and everything else, if you want to be as effective as you can be, you can't be worried and stressed out all the time, or your brain won't be engaged and you will not be effective. So how can we eliminate some of that stress? And here's the answer. How you eliminate stress and worry is to stop doing the things you know you shouldn't be doing and start doing the things that you know you should. Isn't that fascinating? I was actually reading the Bible the other night, and it talks about living in the light and eliminating all the dark corners of your life. And I thought that is a perfect illustration for how you can eliminate stress and worry in your life. You know, if you just get rid of all the dark corners and you live in the light and you're doing everything you know you should be doing and everything you know that you can do, and you're not doing all the things that you know you shouldn't be doing, then you've got nothing to hide, you got nothing to worry about, you got nothing to stress about. It's a glorious existence, right? I wrote down in my journal many, many years ago, I wrote down, and I'll never forget, I wrote it down, it says, never, and I put it in quotes, and I underlined it, I circled it, never do anything that you would need to hide from somebody else. And I circled that, and I wrote it, I thought, that is the key, and then I forgot it. Forgot it existed. Until I started thinking about stress and worry, and then it dawned on me that I had written that in my journal so many years ago, and that it had become a part of me. Never do anything you would have to hide from someone else. Now, we all mess up, right? And I've certainly messed up. And just because I wrote that in a journal one time 6 years ago doesn't mean since then, I've never done a single thing that I wouldn't want somebody else to know about, right? That's not true. But if you keep that in the back of your mind, if you live by it as one of the principles in your life, and if you do as best you can to adhere to a philosophy like that, here's what will happen. You will begin eliminating the dark corners of your life. You'll begin to live in the light. And when that happens, right, stress and worry and anxiety will be lifted. You'll find yourself infinitely more effective. You'll be getting more done in less time. You'll have more free time. You'll have more joy in your life. And everything that you're working towards and all of your goals and your dreams and your aspirations will begin to come to fruition much more rapidly because you're applying yourself with a greater degree of focus. So with that, go out there, attack your day, and make it a great one.